Hey everyone, Video Game Lover here, and today I'm here to talk about the 20th anniversary of the one and only original Xbox. Let's get right into it. So, November 15, 2001, the original Xbox hit the scene in the US. And the reason this is such a monumental deal is, for one, because the original Xbox is a really good system. But the other reason is that the sixth generation of consoles is now considered retro gaming. The PS2 is over 20 years old. The GameCube turned 20 in Japan. It's going to turn 20 in the US in just 3 years. And now with the original Xbox turning 20, along with the Dreamcast turns 20 in 2019, the sixth generation of gaming is considered retro now. At least for me. I mean, some would say it doesn't count, but I think it does. I feel like if something is 20 years old now, or older, it's retro to me. So, let's begin with the original Xbox, and here is the system itself. In its entirety, this behemoth of a monster of a system. So, this is Microsoft's first console into the gaming industry, and basically they wanted to kind of bring PC gaming into like a console. So that's why this system was so gigantic and so high tech. They really wanted to bring the PC gaming experience to your living room, and they really perfected it with this system. But however, though, it is gigantic. It is pretty heavy too. So that's the original Xbox system. So now let's talk about the controller. And this, ladies and gentlemen, was the original Xbox controller, the Duke. This controller, as you can see, is very gigantic. I do find it comfortable though, but it is a very massive controller. I guess they just felt like maybe this system needs a massive controller to be, give it that distinguished look, but it was just too big for a lot of people. Many people did not like the Duke that much. I personally like it, but not really. However, though, they did in 2002, in early 2002, they brought in the S controller. Now, the S controller actually was meant for the Japanese audience because they felt like the Duke was way too big, so they made the S controller for Japan. So basically, they brought it here in the US, and it's much better than the Duke. You have a lot more it's much more comfortable. And here's an interesting thing. The original Xbox controller actually had a breakaway cable, which is kind of called a dongle. You see, this is kind of to prevent if you accidentally yank the controller out the system, it won't pull the system. It's really nice. I'm not sure why they haven't made these, but there is one problem though, is that you have to make sure the controller does have this. If it doesn't, you can't play the original Xbox. So this is the S controller, very comfortable, and it will eventually be used for the 360 in later years. Now, as far as memories go, for me, I'm going to be honest, I don't really have that much memories as a kid. Mainly because we didn't own an original Xbox. It was either a GameCube or PS2. It wasn't until 2015 when I finally got myself an original Xbox for dirt cheap. I got it for like 20 bucks in the thrift. And the game that I got with it is a legendary first-person shooter. It's the first-person shooter that innovated for console gaming. Now, I know some are going to say GoldenEye. Yes, GoldenEye deserves a lot of credit, especially for breaking the mold of the Doom clone of first-person shooters. But this is the one that really started it, and that, my friends, is Halo. The first Halo game. I mean, the fact that this game is 20 years old now, it's just incredible. And you know what? Even to this day, it's still a fun game. I know that 2 and 3 are better, but I still love the first Halo game. I mean, the music was absolutely amazing. The gunplay is just fantastic. Everything about this game was just amazing. Except for the Flood. Screw the Flood. But this game was awesome. I love this game. And honestly, this game helped me to get into first-person shooters. I've always had trouble getting into first-person shooters due to the second analog stick, but thanks to this game, I was able to adjust the second analog stick, and now I got into Halo thanks to that. So I absolutely adore the very first Halo game. Same for its sequel, which I got in 2016, Halo 2, which is a very, very awesome game. However, though, this game is also infamous because it was actually rushed. So in Halo 3, the first hour of the game was actually meant to be in Halo 2. So that's why people were upset with that cliffhanger ending. That was because Microsoft rushed the living hell out of this game. They really want this game to come out in 2004. They wanted to delay it to 2005, but they were like, no, we want it now. We need this now. This game had one of the biggest launches for the original Xbox. I mean, you should see the launch party for this game. It's unbelievable. But Halo 2 is a really good game. And here's another game that I really, one of my first original Xbox games, and actually the first one I beat, Brute Force. Now, I would love to see this series this to come back, but honestly, when I replayed it last year, it kind of reminded me, I feel like Gears of War came from this, because this game was like a 4-player co-op third-person shooter game, and I just feel like Gears of War took what made this game great and made it even better. But Brute Force is a really fun game, especially if you have friends. It's a really good game. I really enjoy the Brute Force. Now, this trilogy is not Xbox exclusive, obviously, but the reason I'm including them is that I played them on the original Xbox. The Prince of Persia series. Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, Warrior Within, and Two Thrones. I really enjoyed the first game. It's hard to believe this game is going to be 20 in 2 years. This is a really, really good game. Unfortunately, it's not complete, though, sadly, but I really enjoyed this game. This is a blast to play, and this game is backwards compatible with the Xbox One. Warrior Within. This is the one that a lot of people didn't like because it's such an edgelord tone to decide to go with. I personally don't mind this game, but I just didn't like that you had to get the health upgrade to get the best ending. And even if you did the best ending, the character you save dies in this game. So it's like, what's the point of getting the best ending? You know what I'm saying? So this game is okay. But however, though, I do love Two Thrones, though. I actually think this is the best of the three, in my opinion. I really enjoy this game a lot. This is a really good game. Let's see what else we got here. Of course, here's another launch title for the original Xbox. This was exclusive. Dead or Alive 3. I want to say that 20 years later, this game still looks amazing. I mean, this game still looks amazing. It still plays fantastic. So they really wanted an exclusive Japanese game, and they got it with Dead or Alive 3, which is really, really good. So, very good fighting game for the system. Here's another really good Xbox exclusive, The Chronicles of Riddick. This is a really good first-person shooter game. It takes place, I believe, in the prequel parts of The Chronicles of Riddick. Sorry, I just had a little brain fart here. But this is a really good game. It's a first-person shooter stealth game. Seriously, if you've not played this game, pick this game up. It's really, really good. Really good. Spider-Man. This is another one that's not an exclusive, but the reason I'm including this is the best version of Spider-Man. This version includes Kraven the Hunter, which was not in the PS2 or GameCube version. So if you want Spider-Man, this is the version to go. This is the best version of Spider-Man, bar none. Simpsons Hit and Run. This game is really expensive now. But this is a classic game that you could get on PS2 and on GameCube. I got on Xbox. I was able to get this for $4. So very happy to have that. Now here's a series that I thought was really underrated. It was made by From Software. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the first game anymore. And the reason why was that the first game I loved a lot, but then the more and more I played it, it just got worse and worse and worse and just way too frustrating. I feel that this game fixed a lot of issues from the first game, and that is Otaki 2 Immortal Warriors. I think this game is a lot better than the first game because you play as different characters, the combat feels more fluid, and this game is really good. The music's also great, and the graphics are unbelievable for this game. Seriously, From Software pushed the boundaries of the graphics for this game. This game is absolutely incredible. Very expensive though. Here's another Xbox exclusive, Mecha Assault. This is a really fun mech game. I absolutely love this game a lot. Very awesome game. I still have not found Mecha Assault 2. I heard that one's really good, but this is a really, really good game. Check this one out. Midway Arcade's Treasure 2. This is actually another one of the first Xbox games I got. I got it from Mortal Kombat 2, 3, and Primal Rage. So, if you want the very cheap game. Now, here we have possibly one of the greatest survival horror games of all time. Rival to Resident Evil 2 and the Resident Evil series, but this game is absolutely legendary. It's expensive, but you need to play it. Silent Hill 2. Now, yes, this game was on the PS2. However, though, the Xbox version contains more secrets, new areas, and an additional campaign mode featuring Maria. So, that's the Xbox version of Silent Hill 2. This version is better than the PS2 version for adding all these features. This is such a legendary survival horror game. I honestly think that this is a masterpiece. Like, no joke, this is a masterpiece. I love Silent Hill 2. House of the Dead 3. Now you can get this on the Wii, but for a while, if you wanted to play this, you have to play on the original Xbox because Sega and Microsoft had a partnership. A lot of their Sega games came to the original Xbox, while the PS2 and GameCube got some. The Xbox got a lot of them, and House of the Dead 3 is a really, really fun rail shooter. It's one of the few, though, unfortunately, on the system. Making sure that stack doesn't fall. Now, I didn't like the first Blinks. Blinks was kind of meant to be the mascot for the Microsoft brand. They needed like a kid-friendly mascot. But the first Blinks to me, it wasn't really all that good. However, though, Blinks 2, in my opinion, is way better. It's nowhere near as frustrating. They fixed a lot of the issues that plagued the first game. This is a lot better. So if you didn't enjoy the first Blinks game, I highly recommend checking out Blinks 2. This is a really, really good game. Shenmue 2. I actually like this one way more than the first game. This game was actually released on the Dreamcast in Japan and Europe, but when they brought it in the US, they decided to bring it to the original Xbox. It contains 2 discs, but the whole game fits in 1 disc. The other disc is just the movie to recap the events of the first game. So really, really good game. And 3 more games which are really good. Armed and Dangerous, a very fun third-person shooter. NBA Street Volume 2, I recommend the Xbox version because this version is the cheapest to find. And last but not least, Red Dead Revolver, which is a really fun game. So, those are games I absolutely love for the original Xbox. There's some, of course, I'm missing, like Ninja Gaiden Black. That game is very, very punishing. Didn't get far into that game. The original Xbox, Panzer Dragoon Order, that's another good game, but that game has exploded. I also have Crimson Skies, but I didn't really get into that game that much. But I absolutely love the original Xbox. It's a really good system, and I can't believe that's 20 years old now. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys on my next video. Peace.